The world is home to plenty of odd iconic architecture, such as the Sydney Opera House and the Royal Exhibition Building in Melbourne, but some of these homes should definitely be added to the list too. Ideal for those who want more than 4 square walls, these quirky and eye-catching residences are almost too unusual to be true. From a converted garage covered in grass to a bubble house formed from 11 colorful domes, these could well be the weirdest homes I've ever put together into a video, so let's start the tour. Up first, we visit the Flintstones' home. Upon first view, you'd be forgiven for thinking you'd wandered into the live-action set of the Flintstones, but you'd be wrong. Hollander House is the vision of architect David Hollander, who built the 3,000-square-foot home in the late 1960s. However, in 2015, graphic design studio owner Peter Owen and his wife Michelle took the house on and set about adding their own improvements, including extra decking, a balcony, and a contemporary kitchen. Inspired by Spanish architect Antonio Gaudí, the sculptural home is made from hand-formed ferro cement, and the low-set home is nestled into the Newport rock looking across the ocean. However, Hollander House is no dingy cave home, with an open floor plan, curvaceous white walls, and plenty of skylights, allowing the Australian sunshine to flood in. Spacious too, the split-level property offers 3 bedrooms, one with a private deck featuring a freestanding bath, 2 bathrooms, 2 living areas, and a study. Head outside and you'll discover several dreamy decks set among the trees and parking for 2 cars, including an electric vehicle charger. If you've fallen in love, it's currently on the market with a guide price of $620,000. Up next, we visit the Grass House. Never has a property been more appropriately named. Positioned in the Fitzroy North suburb of Melbourne, the Grass House was once a garage that was converted by architect David Luck into one of Melbourne's quirkiest homes. The exterior of the converted garage is covered in native grass, thanks to large vertical planters that span the entire length of the building. These living walls serve as natural insulation for the home and are kept lush by an automated watering system. Inside, the 2-story home is just as unusual, with slimline rooms decorated with angular high ceilings, sloping walls, extensive windows, and units built into alcoves. The home comprises 2 spacious bedrooms with recessed skylights and an open living area with an adjoining kitchen. If these homes are considered weird, then we don't want to live anywhere ordinary. Up next, we visit this cookie fantasy retreat. This cookie little property can be found on the 18-acre Mira Mira retreat in the beautiful Gippsland countryside of Crossover, Victoria. The tiny home is one of a few unique structures on the estate, including a cottage, a cave house with a door that resembles an open mouth, and a main residence known as Dragon Manor, a fairy tale castle that took the owner 2.5 years to build. Known as the Tanglewood sculpture, the building was inspired by Spanish architect Antoni Gaudí, the man behind Sagrada Familia and Casa Batlló in Barcelona. The rooms of Tanglewood are filled with psychedelic colors and quirky details, including hand-finished walls, archways, and staircases. The fairy tale property has 2 distinctive bedrooms, one with an all-purple color scheme, a characterful skylight, and hand-stenciled butterfly motifs, while the second is pink and green, with a tree-like bed frame and cave-esque walls. Mira Mira went on sale in 2022 and sold in December for $515,000. Up next, we visit this converted Second World War bunker. From the outside, this strange, clandestine bunker might not look exactly homely, but thanks to an impressive conversion, it's now a very comfortable family home. Amazingly, this was once a Second World War bunker utilized by the Australian Air Force. Intrigued? Let's take a closer look. According to the Daily Mail, the Australian Air Force built the steel bunker in 1941. It was constructed into the side of a hill and covered with dirt in order to keep it hidden from Japanese enemy forces. It was used to store fuel for the nearby Mildura Air Base and can be found next to the Murray River. The bunker was decommissioned in 1945 and left vacant until Stephen Gooding purchased it, along with 3 others, 30 years ago. Gooding converted the bunker into a 4-bedroom home, complete with an open-plan living room, kitchen, and dining area. There are also 2 bathrooms located across the 5,000-square-foot floor plan. Despite being underground, the interior is bright and light, with original structural supports, curving walls, and quirky alcoves. How's that for weird and wonderful? Up next, we visit the Bubble House. Appropriately named, the Bubble House in Carolee, Queensland, is almost too surreal to be true. Its curvaceous and colorful exterior is formed from 11 intersecting domes, each painted a different shade. The residence's original owner, Graham Birchall, came up with the design almost 40 years ago, and it took 3 decades to come to fruition. Burchell was inspired by monolithic dome houses and wanted to create a structure to honor the strength and simplicity of the humble circle. The size of the bubbles range in diameter, providing 12,000 square feet of interior space with varying ceiling heights, curving walls, and plenty of other quirky interior design details. Despite its relatively low rising profile, the retro home features 3 floors, and every room is as strange as you might expect. There's a rotund entrance tunnel that leads inside, where you'll find a lounge, dining room, library, media room, sports bar, circular kitchen, 3 bedrooms and a basement, complete with a cellar and workshop. From arched doorways to random structural columns, circular windows, and unique fireplaces, there's something unusual to see in every room. The house hit the market in August 2020 for $480,000, but perhaps unsurprisingly, it failed to sell. Up next, we visit the Transformers home. Located in the upscale coastal suburb of Port Melbourne, Victoria, this boxy, ultra-modern home is quite unlike any other on the street, except for the identical one that lies next door, that is. Designed by architect Simon Cooks, the 2 properties are akin to Transformers robots, thanks to their angular modular exteriors. Described as flamboyant and kooky with a spaceship retro and boat vibe, the unusual 3-bedroom residence is one of 2 that Cooks designed in the area back in 2014 and is filled with bespoke finishes, including recycled timber, marine ply, and stone surfaces. Dramatic angles, innovative designer lighting, and polished concrete floors add to the home's uniqueness. Cooks knocked down 2 old homes in order to build his innovative designs, but he retained aspects of the previous properties by using bricks, timber, and old bottles found underneath the original foundations. Amazingly, the bottles were turned into light fittings that now hang in the hallway. Eco-friendly and sustainable too, the home features solar-powered hot water and a rainwater harvesting tank. Up next, we visit the geodesic dome house. Upon first glance, it's hard to figure out exactly what this structure is. The futuristic house lies in the town of Apollo Bay in southwestern Victoria and is positioned close to the coast and the area's spectacular Great Otway National Park. A cross between a giant golf ball and a UFO floating in mid-air, the unusual home is actually nestled on a sloping plot, with access via a blue steel bridge. The impressive building was constructed in the mid-1960s by prominent Tasmanian furniture designer John Smith and boasts plenty of quirky details inside and out. While the exterior features a hat-like domed roof and tiny windows, the interior is light, bright, and bursting with character. Inside, the geodesic dome house offers a living room, a galley-style kitchen, 2 bedrooms, and a bathroom. As for quirky design touches, there are endless skylights, numerous alcoves and built-ins, rotund barrel ceilings, honeycomb-shaped wall coverings, and spiral staircases. The one-of-a-kind home last sold in 2020 for $200,000. I don't know about you, but I love it. Up next, we visit this metal cylindrical house. The Drew House by Simon Laws of Anthill Construction is a seriously distinctive residence. Formed from a series of prefabricated pods, built off-site then shipped to a remote forest in Agnes Water, Queensland, where it was assembled, the metal home is truly one of a kind. One part of the house is formed from an old corrugated cylinder, while covered walkways connect the various pods to a large outdoor living and dining area. A ribbed parabolic roof formed from Aramax steel cladding covers the top of the structure, adding to its unusual aesthetic. With its cylindrical-shaped living rooms, this real-life hobbit house blends retro and contemporary elements with cave-like spaces that are both cozy and chic. The holiday home sleeps 6 and comes equipped with 2 bedrooms. Plus, it has rainwater tanks and solar-powered hot water, making it highly energy efficient with a low environmental impact. Up next, we visit the Pole House. With jaw-dropping views of Fairhaven Beach, the longest strip of sand on the Great Ocean Road, the Pole House hovers 130 feet above the ground, and from the back appears to be floating in mid-air. In reality, the property is supported by steel stilts and can be accessed via a 76-foot-long glass bridge. The floating home was originally designed and built in the 1970s by architect Frank Dixon, but after falling into disrepair, it was sensitively restored by Franco Fiorentini from F2 Architecture. The restoration resulted in modern living areas with plenty of retro elements, including curved walls of wooden cladding and futuristic suspended fireplaces. The cliffhanger home is said to be one of the most photographed residences in this part of Australia. With a single bedroom and bathroom, both of which have incredible coastal views that stretch 30 miles, it's the ultimate luxury vacation retreat. In fact, it's available to rent on cool stays. Up next, we visit this gravity-defying home. Truly mind-bending, this futuristic pad in the town of Casuarina, New South Wales, blends design innovation with expert engineering. The property was named after American animated sitcom The Jetsons, which followed a family living in the gravity-defying skypad apartments. Defined by its two geometric elements, one that balances on top of the other, the home is unlike anything you might have seen before. Spanning 5,500 square feet, the house is strategically positioned on its long, narrow plot and was designed and constructed to maximize all 190 feet of beach frontage. The lower level of the home sits neatly on the ground, while the upper story, which weighs 80 tons, cantilevers out at 45 degrees, giving the impression that it's floating in midair. Outside, the home boasts white curving walls and custom horizontal windows and almost looks like a spacecraft that's landed on Earth. Inside, there's a large living room, a dining area, a modern kitchen, 5 bedrooms, and 3 bathrooms. Every single room has a minimalist design aesthetic with raw concrete floors, crisp white walls, and dark cabinetry. Many of the ground floor spaces flow out to the garden, where there's a soccer pitch, an in-ground trampoline, an alfresco entertaining terrace, an outdoor shower, and an 82-foot heated lap pool that lies below the overhang. Up next, we go to the Cliff House in Spain. This psychedelic house, available to rent on Airbnb, has been ingeniously built into the cliff face in Spain. Perched high above the Mediterranean Sea, the extraordinary home was handcrafted from trundle metal mesh canopy, allowing it to be shaped and molded almost like clay. It was finished with the scale-like zinc cladding, making it reminiscent of the works of iconic Spanish architect Antoni Gaudí. Built to respond to local climate, the shell of the house was specifically designed to keep the interiors cool during the summer, regulating the flow of air. Spread over 2 stories, the house sits at a 42-degree incline and almost resembles a cave protruding out of the landscape. Unsurprisingly, the house is considered an architectural icon and has won many awards. Inside, there are 3 bedrooms and a main multi-tiered living room that features a kitchen and a 500 square foot living room overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. The room is decorated with a wave-like ceiling, stacked seating, and unusual built-in embellishments that could have been inspired by another mansion in Barcelona. The living room opens up to a spectacular terrace that looks over the cliff. The patio accommodates a stunning swimming pool with a curving overhanging roof and boasts breathtaking ocean vistas. Not a bad place to take a dip. Up next, we go to the California Wave Mansion. Accordingly named, the Wave House is a contemporary masterpiece that has to be seen to be believed. Located in the neighborhood of Venice in Los Angeles, California, the weird and wonderful residence was completed in 2016 and boasts an eye-catching visual aesthetic unlike any other. This spectacular modern home spans 6,000 square feet and comes equipped with 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms, as well as a large open-plan living area that spill out into the garden. Wall-to-wall glass, generous ceilings, and crisp color palettes result in bright and inviting rooms. The kitchen is streamlined and minimalist, stark contrast to the home's bold metal exterior. The Wave House was the brainchild of notable local artist Mario Romano and was inspired by the ebb and flow of the ocean. Now considered a local landmark, Romano used computer software to design some of the home's notable features, including the 300 pieces of custom-cut aluminum used to cover the facade. Romano also turned to computers to create some of the home's interior details, including its wall patterns that were designed to mimic trees and animals. Outside, there's a beautiful swimming pool, which creates the perfect place to hang out. This home was originally listed for $5.2 million, but is having trouble selling and had multiple price cuts down to $4.3 million. Do you guys think this is worth it? All right, everyone, I think that's gonna wrap this video up. Like I mentioned in the beginning, follow all my social media, and also 50% of the people who watch me don't subscribe. So just, if you're watching, just click the subscribe button. It's free, it means a lot. And then an alternative option would be to become a member, which costs a couple dollars, but then, you know, I'll be calling you guys, FaceTiming you guys. You get cool badges, you get exclusive videos. I'll be making videos that I can't show, like public channel. So you guys get a ton of cool features, and by clicking here and becoming a member. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I love you guys. Thank you for the constant support. Feel free to share this video on anything, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.